Okay, welcome from Louisiana and New York. Maria Devon in New York and Louisiana Beer Reviews in Louisiana. We're going to look at Singha, and I was playing the royal anthem of Thailand in the intro.
That was nice, that little bit of musical prelude to this beer. Because, you know, I happen to know something. Can I go ahead and say it?
Sure.
Well, it turns out that the brewer of this beer in 1939 was acknowledged by the Royal Court of Thailand and given permission to use this symbol here that's on the label. And it's a great honor. They can't use this without permission. They were acknowledged as like the brewer.
Right. And it was like they were the royal provider of beer to the king and his family.
Yeah.
And they're still allowed to keep that, but they said there's certain quality controls that they have to have, and if they don't keep it going, they'll lose the warrant.
Isn't that nice? Where did you find that music, by the way?
I just looked it up on YouTube. You can look up national anthems of pretty much any country.
Nice. Very nice.
I figured that would be something nice to start with. Okay, now they received that by royal permission moniker on October 25th, 1939, and the beer was started in 1933 by a man named how did I write this? Prayabikram Bhakti. Okay, I probably spelled that wrong.
It's hard to say. It's definitely hard to say.
He was a Thai man, and he wanted to know how to brew beer, and so where did he go on a trip to learn how to brew beer for Thailand? He went to Germany. Good place to go, right?
Absolutely.
And he got training there, and he went back and he started the company in 1933 when he was 60 years old now. And the beer, do you have the ingredients list? Because I do.
I do, as a matter of fact. It is a German-style lager beer made with Hallertau, Pearl, and Saz hops. Those are imported from Germany and Czechoslovakia, imported German yeast, and 100% malted barley, no adjuncts.
And the barley comes from Australia, Ireland, and France.
Yes.
Well, that's a pretty good ingredients bill, I think.
I do too. I think so too.
It's
won some medals.
Yes, it has. It has won medals. And Beer Advocate's saying, okay, but the bros say very good. You'll notice the bros tend to be a little more favorable towards stuff. And but Rate Beer's saying an 8 out of 100. So, uh-oh.
Oh. Well, I find that hard to believe.
Here is a Singha glass.
Proper glassware. Good for you. I have my Sam Adams Perfect Pint.
I don't know where I got this glass, but it is an awesome glass that somebody gave me about 2 months ago. And I said, if I ever drink Singha beer, it's going in this glass. Now, this beer was very expensive, but I bought it at a place that tends to be kind of a ripoff. $2.99 for this 11.2-ounce bottle is no kind of value. I think I could get it cheaper, but I went to
It was under $2. This was like some weird amount of money, $1.83 or $1.63 or something at the bottle shop.
That's more in line with what it should be, but I went to 3 places in the New Orleans area, and they didn't have it, so I got in a little bit of a panic. So I said, oh, well, I'll just pay the $2.99 and I'll be aggravated about it. But
I feel bad, but it shouldn't be that much.
No, that place, I try to avoid going to that place. They have an incredible amount of beer, but they charge too much, and they're very careless about it being outdated.
Well, there was no date on this bottle. No, yes, there is. Expires 4/23/14, but I bought it anyway.
That's okay. Mine says expires on July 2nd, 2014. So we're going to drink 2 outdated beers. It's probably not going to make a big difference.
Mine smells fine and looks beautiful. Look at how it poured.
Yeah, thick, fairly thick white head, clear, golden, bubbly appearance.
Lovely. Beautiful, light, amber, creamy head of white foam.
Yeah.
And a scent that's not at all skunky or smells sour like it's been sitting on a shelf for a long time.
No, and I tried to get a fresher one. I looked through they had 3 6-packs sitting on that shelf, and I went through everything. They all had the same date, so it was obviously they received that shipment the same day. And it was sad because the man told me, we just sold out of the High Five IPA about 2 hours before you got here. I was so mad. I can't have that High Five.
It's worth getting. You'll get it. I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, I grabbed this anyway despite the date because a lot of times, beer does outlast the date. It just depends on how it's kept. In my bottle shop, it's actually quite dark. So I knew it wasn't going to be light struck. And usually these beers are given about a year. And this one, 423.13 to 423.14, I said, well, let me just chance it because it's the only beer I'll ever get from Thailand and I want a ticket. So,
Yeah, yeah, why not? Have you had Chang from Thailand?
no, this is my very first.
Oh, you've never had Singha before.
Nope.
Okay, well, give us the taste assessment.
Well, how about we do the aroma first?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm jumping the gun.
That's okay. I got a light sweet grain. I don't have much of a hop presence, just like a bit of grassiness. And I don't know, it smells fresh and vibrant to me. It doesn't smell stale.
No, me neither, and I'm getting the same things you described. Maybe a slight syrupiness and some grassy hops. Really nice aroma. I mean, this, man, if I was at a Thai restaurant, this would go so well with that kind of food, I think.
Yeah, it would, because Thai food tends to be spicy
From
and
the
literally very beautiful. I mean, using like every color under the rainbow, and has a lot of bold flavors like lime and that spicy Thai basil. So you want something that's not going to clash with that, something that's a little bit sweet.
Yeah, so from the aroma, and I guess the taste is where it matters, but I had it once before. From the aroma, it's smelling just like when I had it a while back. So I'm very pleased with the aroma. So the appearance, the aroma. Let's go with the flavor of Singha.
Cheers.
Cheers, clink.
Yeah, don't forget to say clink.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It's crisp and mellow. It has a bit of an herbal forwardness on the palate that you don't get on the nose, but I like that. It's grainy, it's malty.
Yeah, you really get a strong barley malt flavor. I mean, it is really noticeable. Now, when you get these non-adjunct lagers, a lot of times you'll get that really overriding barley, I guess barley bread or something flavor. I like it, but some people it turns them off. But I think you could get used to it if you give it a chance. I don't mean you, but the taster.
I think it's a lovely little lager. I mean, it's very clean. There's no fruit scent on it at all. There's no fruit on the palate at all. It's just a lovely bit of grain, liquid grain.
Yeah, and there's none of that green apple or
Nope.
That off stuff that you'll get sometimes. I don't taste anything off in it.
I don't either, and frankly, I'm actually trying to really pay close attention to the body of the beer, to what I think is the mouthfeel, because it's about 3-4 months past the date. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to find something wrong with it, and honestly, I can't. The only thing I can say is that there is a slight bitterness to the finish, but I like that. I don't think that's out of place, considering that it's using Saz hops and Hallertauer. I would say that that little bit of hop presence in the mouthfeel is where it is. And in a lager beer, I think that's where you find it. It's not so much an outstanding flavor. It's more a component of the mouthfeel. It brings the malt into balance with the drink. It's how it finishes, and it finishes lovely.
Yeah, I think it has a light to medium body and a crisp, clean, refreshing finish. I mean, this beer might have flaws, but I don't know what they are. But like I said last night on our examination of Foster's that I did with some other people, I said I'm a bad judge because I have a tendency to like too many things, and maybe I'm not picky enough. But I mean, yeah, I know what bad is. Believe me, because I've walked in that valley, the valley of bad beer, many times. But this is not anywhere close to bad, and in fact, in my opinion, it's quite above average. But that's my opinion. No one else is obligated to agree.
I would tend to agree. I would say that if I had to remark and say, oh, it's flawed in any way, well, maybe it's a little on the heavy side in the drink as far as the graininess goes, because I don't know. If I had to say something, do you feel like there's a little lemon as it finishes?
No.
There's some kind of hop finish to it. And I would call it herbal, but maybe
No, to me it's just a grassy hop finish. Uh-oh,
Yeah.
here comes the Kansas City Southern Railroad train. But anyway, no, it's a. I think a light beer drinker, somebody who drinks only light beers, might gag because they're not used to the heavy malt, the relatively heavy malt presence. I mean, relative to light beers.
It's definitely heavier than the use of the corn adjunct. In fact, if you wanted to go ahead and compare the body of this beer with, let's say, one of the better AALs, you'll notice that this one is definitely heavier and maltier on the palate. But I mean, I can't say that there's anything wrong with it. I think it's delightful.
No, and it's. I'm thinking about Heineken. Heineken is 5% alcohol. It's made with no corn or rice adjuncts either. But to me, they're a lot different.
They
But
are. Heineken's a
but I
lot
can't
sweeter
say
than this.
I can't really say how they're different. What were you saying at the train?
Heineken, I think, is sweeter,
Mm.
is much sweeter than this. This one has a maltier palate that's not as sweet as Heineken. Heineken can have that green apple, though. I mean, and to a degree you're allowed to have it. Just depends on how prominent it actually is. There's none of it in this one.
No, and I think if I was going to compare it to a European pale lager non-adjunct, which is, I guess, what this is modeled on, if I had to compare it to a European beer of this style, I think to me it reminds me more of Golden Pheasant. But I know Golden Pheasant, which is from Slovakia, by the way, I know Golden Pheasant is a little lower alcohol, but it does seem to have that little heavier body like Golden Pheasant. I don't know if you ever had that Golden Pheasant.
I have not. I would use two words to characterize the malt in this. I would call it hearty malt, like it's deep,
Yeah.
it's golden, it's well done, it's prominent on the palate. I would call it robust because it is the drink, it is the palate. The hops come into this beer to crisp it up, to balance it for the finish, and to give the palate like a counterpoint to all that malt. It finishes nice and dry. I'm not exactly sure which ingredient does that, but I mean, I'd say it's put together very, very well.
Oh, yeah, this is obviously deserving of the royal permission logo. Um, I wouldn't pay that much for it, but like I said, it's not the fault of the beer company. It's that clip joint that I went to. But
It's also the trendiness. I mean, if this is an imported beer, this is from Thailand, and depending on, like, you can go around to different restaurants and pay a variety of price for the same beer. It just depends on who's selling it to you, like you said.
yeah, I could drink the fool out of this beer, though. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is the kind of thing I could just drink pretty much without stopping. But and that's the thing I think about when I drink beer. Like, would I drink it again? And if I drink it again, would I drink it with a lot of gusto and enthusiasm? The answer is yes and yes.
I think you also just hit on a terrific word, gusto and enthusiasm. That's what this beer has. This is not a shy lager beer. As far as lager quality goes, like if you could personify it, you would say that this beer has gusto, it has appeal, it has a robustness, it has a character that kind of steps out of the glass to greet you. It's like, it's enthusiastic in its presentation. I kind of like that.
Yeah, and I think they picked the right. You're right, and I think they picked the right thing to put on the beer. This is a Singha.
Right.
A Singha is a lion-like animal, and this beer has power like a lion. And if you drank a bunch of these, you would realize that you have been mauled by a lion creature, right? I mean, this is 5% alcohol. This will get to you. Not, it wouldn't take that long, I don't think.
No, and I actually looked up what that mythical creature symbolizes. It symbolizes power, strength, courage, leadership, dignity, loyalty, perseverance, and endurance. So I think that's the perfect emblem for this beer, because it's not like it's undecided in any way. It's very decided. This is a lager. This is a strong flavored lager. It has flavor. It's not that it has overbearing or out of place hop flavor, but it is strong and forward in the glass. That malt is standing tall in that glass to show you everything that it is.
Yeah, and I'm glad I tried it again, and I love the label. It's a really attractive bottle. I think it's it's simple, but it's nice to me. It's
I
sort
do
of
too. It's attractive to the eye. It's the gold, right? That gold shines and is appealing to the eye. It's kind of like an idol there, that little lion. And it's a very simple label. There's, it just says Singha lager beer, premium imported. It's imported from Thailand since 1933.
yeah,
It actually came from Bangkok, Thailand, so that is extremely unique.
right, and some people will remark, and you've heard this a million times, that lagers don't have any flavor, and they're sort of like looked down on. You know what I mean? They're looked down on like it's a bad style. It's a bad style. I don't think honestly you could say this beer has no flavor. I just do not think you could say that.
No, it does. It has very authentic flavor. As a matter of fact, okay, I often will wax poetic about the German tradition of brewing, and what I've read from the German brewers that I've looked up online. Those people, they look at those fields like that's going to become beer. They prize the organic and sustainable methods that they use, and they prize their brewing methods. So the fact that this forceful and malt-dominant lager beer came from the German tradition of brewing is just proof to show you that it does. And the fact that it inspires you to poetry when you talk about it, that's, again, how you know that it was made to do that. It's simple, but it's forceful. It has a powerful presence.
I agree, and I would recommend this beer to anybody. If they said, should I drink Singha beer, I'd say definitely drink it. And if you're lucky, you'll get the big bottle. They make a 20, I think it's a 21 point something ounce bottle. I wish I had that because I'm so disappointed because now I'm out of Singha. Oh, man.
Because it's only 11.2 ounces. It's not even 12 ounces. But I'll tell you what, that 11.2 ounces, that is the size that beer comes in. If you get like beer from Denmark or beer from any of the foreign countries, most of the time it's 11.2. We get 12. I don't know why there's a disparity, but that is.
I'll tell you why because it's 330 milliliters in Europe and Canada and other countries. 330, even number there, but it translates to our old time system to 11.2. That's the reason. Just like last night, we couldn't figure out why Foster's was in this 25.4 ounce can. That's an odd and unusual size, right? 25.4. I couldn't, but I looked it up. It's 1 liter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Foster's does come in a really big can. I mean, it's the biggest can on the shelf. It's the widest.
Yeah.
It's squat. It's wide, and I mean, you have to really be able to grab onto it.
1 liter, yeah. Oil can. Well, one more thing, because I think we've covered this. You probably agree. Talking about royal warrants for beer, there's a beer in Denmark. It's called Carlsberg. And it's very similar to this, although I think Carlsberg is a lighter bodied beer. And it is brewed under a royal warrant from the ruling family of Denmark, the royal family of Denmark. And so they always, if you get on the Carlsberg Group website, they're always bragging on that. We are the only beer in Denmark brewed under a royal warrant. So
excellent.
We don't, in America, we don't understand those type of things, but in countries that have a monarchy, it's a big deal, In America, it'd be kind of like saying that the president gave me a special seal saying this is a presidential beer or something, you know what I mean? But we don't have that in America.
I think that's very impressive. I don't know. Should I look for Carlsberg? You want to review that?
Oh, I would be very interested in reviewing not only Carlsberg, but the exceptional and mystical Carlsberg elephant.
Elephant I think is the one I just saw. I'll have to walk down to the bottle shop later this week and see if I can't pick up either one or the other.
Yeah, so Carlsberg and the mystical and renowned Carlsberg elephant, I would be very keen, as they would say in Australia, keen to examine both of those beers with you. Definitely. No
Awesome.
doubt about it. Well, thank you for joining me with in this examination, and we'll jump over to your channel next time, I believe.
Yep, we'll do a little beer and BS with some Carlsberg.
Yeah, and talking about BS, I want to bring up one little BS topic real fast, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. Go ahead.
On websites like Beer Advocate, you know, people will have these little pages or little threads called "What are you drinking today?" Which is it's nice to get on there and tell everybody what you're drinking. Although it's kind of funny because, like, am I really that interested in knowing what other people are drinking, and are they really that interested in knowing what I'm drinking? But anyway, you know, you do it, you put it up there. All right, so I caught a little heat the other day because people post all these beers, and I put like, which is very impersonal, right? And I thought, when I first started doing that, I thought, you know, I'm going to make some comments to be more personable. So I would say, this is a really nice beer. Oh, I had that once. I enjoyed it. Oh, you made a great choice with this beer. So the other day I was on there doing all the comments, and then somebody comes out and says, enough already. What's up with all these comments? Just put a like and move on. So it kind of put me off, and I thought, you know what? Maybe, you know, I'm going to say to hell with this. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm trying to be nice, and I'm catching heat for being nice. It kind of bothered me a little bit, but what is your opinion about that?
It happens. I love what beer you're drinking now. That's my thread. That thread and New Beer Sunday are my threads. I love those threads, and I like them because they're online pub atmosphere. It's conversation. It's a picture of the beer you're drinking, the food you're having with the beer. And people are talking back and forth, sharing songs, music, and a few jokes.
Yeah, right.
A little conversation. I don't think you did anything wrong. I'll tell you what, you're not the only person to catch heat for something you posted on BA. I happen to know that one of my friends, who shall remain nameless, caught heat for the type of songs he was playing. They were too outrageous. They were too heavy as far as the heavy metal genre goes. They had too much death, depressing darkness in them, and he caught a little heat for that. I've caught heat for things I've done, not necessarily on Beer Advocate, but over on a Facebook page on Rate Beer, where I post all my reviews, all my videos, all my food and beer pairings and my cooking. I got hate the other day. Someone called me a spammer. I was like, well, where's your content? You don't have any. If I'm the only person to post, then how am I a spammer? If you want to have some conversation and some variety, how about you post your beer reviews over here? You know, I mean, it just, people are funny. You never know what's going to go over.
Right, and you know how many negative comments I have ever made on Beer Advocates? What are you
none. And me either.
None. I have made exactly 0 negative comments, ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
all about the idea, Jay, that you are doing something. You are doing it. The other person's not doing it. The other person is kibitzing, is criticizing. They're not doing anything. And that was my point to the person who criticized me. I was like, well, what are you doing on this website that you could say I'm spamming? This is my show because I'm the only one here. You want to be in the show? Then get in. Right?
Right.
But it's funny that way. I mean, you can never, people as a crowd are so unpredictable. What they like one time, they don't like twice. What they like is not what you're doing. What they like is not what you like. And if you do something that's a little bit different or a little bit, I don't know, like, people are fickle. They can like you or they cannot like you. It's just how it is.
Yeah, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to keep putting my beers.
No, I would stay on. See, for me, that would be like, now this is a point of contention. Now this is about, do I have the right to be nice to people in a manner that I want to be nice to them? And I would keep doing it. And that's just my personality.
Right, yeah, I'm going to keep doing it. And, you know, oh well, tough. But anyway, this was really fun. I'm glad I got to try Singha for the 2nd time in my life. And I'm glad that Mark LaRose sent me this hat from Thailand. He moved to Thailand.
That's a great hat. I need to start getting clothes that go with my beer.
Yeah, it's not too expensive to order these. You can find really great deals online. But he moved to Thailand, and he lives in Thailand, and he sent me the cap, and he was very interested in me doing the Singha. And I was saying Singha. And he said, no, it's Singha. And I said, oh, I was told that it was Singha.
If you look it up, it says do not pronounce the ha. But if you listen to the people say it, they actually say it. So I think it's Singha.
Yeah, right. He lives in Thailand. He goes to the bar and hears everybody saying Singha. So apparently it's Singha, right?
Singha or Singha?
I think it's Singha. Yeah,
because there's a way to say that. Singha. Like that.
Yeah,
That's
but there's probably things that they say that we can't hear. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like in Japan, they can't say lake and rake. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
because when you don't learn a language young enough, you can't understand parts of it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I enjoyed this beer. I think this was well worth having. I think it's one of those beers that, like, okay, if you meet a bunch of people that complain that, oh, there's nothing on the menu, there's plenty on the menu. You
Oh,
just,
oh
yeah,
yeah,
if
that's
this
that's
beer is on the menu, you know you can have it, you know what it's going to taste like, you know it's going to be good. And I think it's very enjoyable. I'm thrilled to have had this because this is the beer from farthest away in the world that I've had to date.
right. Right. I would never turn this beer down. No way. Like John Sharon said, I could drink the hell out of this beer.
That's right.
So anyway,
And don't be discouraged about BA. You're not the first person to be criticized just for being friendly or just for, you know, for being you. I wouldn't take it to heart because I'll tell you what, I know Beer Advocate pretty well. It's one of my favorite, well, it is my, I'll be honest, it's my favorite beer website. And the people there, like, only one person said that to you, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
two people. One
Yeah.
guy said enough already, and the other guys, somebody else chimed in and said, yeah, just put a like and move on.
Yeah, don't get your feelings hurt over it. There's always like a, I don't know, there's always someone with a problem. It's not a reflection on you, and it's not really a reflection on Beer Advocate because you've seen that thread, man. I mean, that's what people are doing over there. They're talking to one another, so I wouldn't let it get you down at all.
I won't. Well, thank you, Maria from New York, and thank you, people, for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we plan to be on again soon enough.
Cheers.